A man was shocked to discover that every morning he woke up covered in bruises. To uncover the truth, one night he refused to drink the glass of milk his fiancée handed him, because he suspected she was secretly taking revenge on him. Sure enough, half an hour later she quietly walked into his room. He pretended to be asleep. After testing several times to confirm he was unconscious, she immediately called in a few strong men to drag him out of bed, and mercilessly beat him for over 10 minutes. What broke his heart the most was realizing that the whole thing had been planned by both his sister and fiancé, all to avenge their adopted younger brother. He had once been a gifted young artist, with a bright future and a ticket to an international competition. But the night before the event, he suffered a brutal accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down, broken hands and reliant on a urine bag for the rest of his life. In his darkest moment, his sister and fiancé offered to pay triple the cost for his treatment. He thought he was lucky to have his loved ones by his side, but days later he overheard their private conversation and learned the cruel truth. It was all orchestrated. The accident had been a setup by them, just to clear the way for their cunning adopted brother. The sister even argued that since he was a wealthy heir, he could live comfortably even disabled. But the adopted brother needed this competition to change his fate. Even after he was crippled, their cruelty didn't stop. They fabricated rumors about his moral failings to ruin his reputation completely. Overnight, the once promising prodigy became a public disgrace. He once attempted suicide. But just then, a mysterious phone call gave him hope. Top Research Institute had heard of his condition and invited him to participate in a drug trial for a compound that could regenerate shattered bones. Thinking he might one day return to a normal life, he agreed without hesitation. On the day of his discharge, his sister and fiancé pretended to care for him, but all he felt was disgust and coldness. At home, his adopted brother greeted him with concern, even showing off the trophy he had won, a trophy earned with the man's stolen body. Seeing how his sister and fiancé only cared about the prize, he silently went to his room to rest. Unexpectedly, the adopted brother followed him upstairs. The man never imagined that he would frame him by throwing himself down the stairs. The sister and fiancé rushed over in panic. The adopted brother shamelessly accused him of pushing him out of jealousy. The sister exploded in anger, yelling at him and asking if he knew what legs meant to people. He sneered. Surprised, she finally understood the importance of legs. Enraged, she slapped him and demanded he apologize. He refused, firmly claiming the other had faked the fall. The adopted brother pretended to be kind, saying he understood his big brother's emotional state. But the farce didn't end there. That night, his fiancée drugged his milk again and brought in someone to beat him as revenge for her brother. Fortunately, he'd been suspicious and didn't drink the milk. He finally realized that this abuse was their twisted way of defending the adopted brother. When he woke up the next day, bruised all over again. The sister and fiancé faked concern and said they were planning a big birthday party for him. But on his birthday, he realized the gifts he received were just free promotion.